So Cyberpunk 2077 is likely getting a very big update this summer, and there's some indications that are pointing towards a patch of about 50 gigs in size that the company is likely working on as we speak. Looking at the Steam database entries, it seems that there were a lot of these in the past few days and weeks since patch 1.23, so yeah, seems that CD Projekt Red is actively working on the game. But we also have to talk about a recent event that was kind of an oopsie on the company's part. It seems that they accidentally, or I'm not really sure if this was accidental or not, but it definitely caused a confusion over there because they released a commercial that was pointing towards a non-existing huge patch that eventually they came in and clarified. So let's talk about that and more in this video, and as always, if you enjoy it at any point, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. But I want to start things off with this recent commercial right here that kinda got everybody excited, including yours truly. I honestly thought that this would be, the big update that we're waiting for. It seems that we're gonna be waiting for it a little bit longer, but surprise surprise, when you would check it, you would not really see any new update. Well, Cyberpunk 2077 main Twitter account came in and clarified this a few hours ago. So this was a short marketing campaign which we ran as a reminder of patch 1.2 and the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is available on digital storefronts for PC, Xbox and PlayStation players. Information on any future updates will be published in due time via our official channels. So yeah, kind of a bummer. It also seems quite strange to advertise an update that is pretty old at this point, and there are way more recent patches like 1.23 that was released less than a month ago, and it was still pretty sizable. It was also then or around that time when they released the game or re-released it on the PlayStation Network. So yeah, it's a bit confusing. I'm not sure if this was intentional or not. Totally let me know down below what is your opinion, but the timing was definitely unfortunate and a bit misleading if I were to be perfectly honest with you. But this is not the actual big news. The actual big news is coming from Steam database, and checking it out, it seems that the last recorded update done behind the scenes is as early as 2 days ago on July 7th, it seems, and they're actually spanning over the course of days, even weeks, up to the maximum of 22 days ago. So it seems that right after patch 1.23, CD Projekt Red was already working on at least a few more changes in the Steam database, at the very least, maybe indicating to their next possible update. So taking a look at the history right here, we can see that there is a full list of changes that have been made quite recently. Now the most recent are down to the internal QA, we will go over that in just a little bit, but many other changes also internal QA were done to some of the main depots, especially this one right here, 109.1501, which is the main Cyberpunk 2077 content with the same ID. So this is actually pretty interesting. Also seems that a couple of days is when, well, we don't really know if this started a couple of days ago. It just says that this was updated a couple of days ago. The CDPR internal QA, the testing branch, has been into effect right here. So they are definitely testing a new update, definitely preparing something. I'm even more inclined to believe that this update is going to be more than just a patch fix update that was the case with the previous ones, or maybe it will be a combination of that and maybe some new changes to the gameplay in one way or another, or maybe even some new content in there. Most recently there was this really interesting comment from the games director, and this was by the way done for a Polish magazine, but Adam Kaczynski made this following statement. So we have already reached a satisfactory level of stability according to him. We have also been working on the overall efficiency, which we are also quite happy about. Of course, we will also remove bugs and glitches, and we will continue to do that. It's the rough translation, by the way. Now take that satisfactory level of stability as you will, because there are still some people that might have trouble with the game, especially on the old gen of consoles. There was somebody over on Reddit that posted a very choppy gameplay footage. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with their installation or with their consoles, or if it's just how the game plays on those consoles, but that was the worst gameplay footage I have ever seen of this game yet. I would definitely not be playing that if I were in that position. But let me know down below if you're playing on the old gen, how is the performance for you? I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 and the PC, and personally yeah, the performance is a little bit better. I honestly didn't notice like too much of an increase in the past few patches, but there are still some lingering bugs that I had since day one, especially character clipping through the car when just like going at top speed, or the terrain disappearing in front of me randomly and sometimes even falling through it, even though I play the game on an SSD that's pretty fast and my PC is also like in a pretty good shape and should more than handle any rendering in any game at the current date. But this speaks something else to me, which is the fact that CD Projekt Red might finally move from just like support bugs and update fixes and move on to something that's akin to introducing new content. For example, I would really like to see some new content and DLCs added for Cyberpunk 2077. It just seems like the company is taking a very long time to introduce significant updates to the game and actually make people come back to play, and especially so when it comes to content. We did not get any new content in the game's life cycle, while for example Witcher 3 already had a few of these at the very least. Even though some of them were minor, around this time we kinda got the first expansion if I remember correctly, so you can only wonder how is CD Projekt Red prioritizing Cyberpunk over other things that they are doing. And no, I'm not talking about that Witcher Monster Slayer mobile AR game that has caused quite a bit of uproar when it was announced to release this month. It seems that a lot of people were confused that CD Projekt Red has moved their developers to work on a mobile game, when in reality it's not the case. This game was announced since 2020 and before Cyberpunk even released, and more important, it's not done by CDPR themselves, it's done by a company that is partly owned or fully owned by CDPR. In this case it would be Spalco, that's how they are called. So this is a specialist independent development studio and part of the CD Projekt family, and they've been at it at full mobile games since the beginning, so it's not like they are allocating resources to create a mobile game against Cyberpunk 2077, just so you know that. But moving forward, the CEO has also mentioned that the company would be introducing improvements to the general systems that the players are paying attention to the most. So things like maybe the crafting system, maybe the police system could definitely use a better update. Like the previous one was okay, I guess, but not really an AI update, just a spawn range update. And I would also like to see some police chases in the game, since it's supported by actual mods. Like modders were able to introduce police car chases in the game, while CD Projekt Red themselves haven't done so yet with their own game. Anyway, on a final note, Death Stranding got its director's cut as well. It seems that all former PS4 released games are getting a director's cut. Ghost of Tsushima got one, well, is getting one in a couple of months, and Death Stranding has also had it announced yesterday. And it's not just that, it also brings PC exclusive Cyberpunk 2077 and Half-Life content to PlayStation 5. In this case, the Cyberpunk content that it is bringing is that skin for the bike over there for the Yaiba, which looks something like this. It looks pretty awesome, of course. I haven't played Death Stranding, so let me know down below if there's any other change outside of the cosmetic one, but it looks awesome to see this collaborative work between studios and kinda nod at each other, especially since Kojima himself was also a cameo NPC in the heist mission in Cyberpunk, so pretty awesome to see that going around. This is it though, thanks so much for watching. I'll keep you guys updated with other news when they drop, but I'll see you guys in the next one.